love it. The calls.
You'll eventually get the 20% back. That Silver Connect card is going to pay her co-payments. Remicade, I believe, is an injectable, and her hospitalization co-payments. And tell them to turn his Part B on. Check, check. All right, producer Tom gives me the go. Today is May 16th, 2012, and this is Medicare and You. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Thanks for listening to the show, and I'd really like to open up the show with a congratulations to my friend and producer Nick. Producer Nick does such a good job with the YouTube page and getting us a little following that he has actually got himself a full-time job now doing production. So congratulations to you, Producer Nick. Well done, man. I have a repeat guest. The reason she is here again is because she was brilliant. Colleen P. O'Neill. She came on about 3 weeks ago, a month ago?
About 3 weeks ago.
And the phones lit up. People out there, my particular listening crowd, the seniors, They really, it hit a chord with them. So she is back. Today is going to be a fun day. It's the seniors dating game. She's going to give you tips on managing life. I'm going to take a back seat today and be quiet, let Colleen take over. We are going to do our Mattatuck Minute. They're patiently waiting on the phone, so we're going to open up with that. And then during the Mattatuck Minute, I am going to actually say my condolences to the family because we lost a great man in Fielding Secor. So I'm going to let the Mattatuck Museum take over, and we'll just basically jointly talk about Fielding. What a very good man he is. Mattatuck Minute on line one. How you doing?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Stephanie, great to hear your voice.
You too, Mike. And we second the sadness on losing a great member of our community and advocate for the museum.
What an advocate for the museum. I mean, in today's paper, in yesterday's paper, both times the museum is so prominently spoken about. Fielding was a colorful and irreverent character. Basically, memorial contributions may be made to the Mattatuck Museum, 144 West Main Street. What a stud, leaving that as, you know, if you want to do anything for me, if you liked me, leave it to the museum. So I really, really like that. I think the gentleman was a very intelligent gentleman. I've been lucky enough to know him. His partner, Donald McPartland, and I grew up together in Cheshire. So I've known of Fielding my whole life, and my mom was a big advocate of his. They were friendly in the community. And during Fielding's day, you grew up with work being 7 days a week. You partied at work functions. If you went to lunch, you had a cocktail. Now we're all geeks. We go to the Y and get a run in. But in Fielding's day, it was a hard-nosed business sense, 7 days a week, powerful attorney. He was a genius financial attorney. He really was.
He had a passion for what he did in the law, and he had a passion for, like I said, what he did in the community. And 7 days a week, Fielding was there. He was putting his time in and his energy and his passion into, the things that he loved.
Yes.
So we're honored to be one of the two organizations designated for memorial contributions to him. And again, it goes to show his sincere dedication to the arts in Waterbury. Absolutely,
and he was a Waterburyan. He really was. He lived it. My condolences to his beautiful wife, Judy. I am so sorry for your loss. He was a very young man at age 69, so my heart goes out to them. And all right, let's talk about some positive stuff. Enough crying.
Absolutely. We've got two events, actually, this week. One this evening. It's the From Dublin Street to City Hall. It's a history on the Waterbury Irish tonight, hosted by Phil Benevento, who is a well-known historian of Waterbury. That's at 6 o'clock for about an hour and a half. He's going to be talking about the history of the Irish in our town. And I've
Nothing
heard
wrong with
also
the Irish. We got a couple good
Mayor
Irish
O'Leary
people.
is going to be popping in at some point, too, and maybe he'll share a story or two about growing up in Waterbury. So that would be really nice.
Yep, good Irishman there. I think he actually wore a green tie on his inaugural day.
For that support.
All right, what do you have for First Thursday?
We have our third Thursday this month is with Lee Demo. He's a Frank Sinatra-style singer. He's got all of the crooning down pat. He's got all of the gestures that Frank was known for. So it's a really enjoyable night. We've got the dance floor already put out for tomorrow. So feel free to come with your significant other and dance and enjoy the sound of Frank Sinatra.
Today I have a guest on, Colleen O'Neill. She's a clinical social worker, and she is actually going to promote what she does for a living. Maybe we're going to promote First Thursday as the go-to place for the single senior out there to go listen to some music, to cut a rug, to dance up the floor, and
Absolutely.
to possibly to just meet a friend. Not obviously, it's not going to be a dating scene over at the museum, but it's a great place for people to go listen to good music and meet a friend.
Yeah, and even reconnect with old friends. We have a lot of people that show up and they see someone they haven't seen for years. So absolutely a great place to meet up with people and kind of rekindle some of those relationships and start new friendships.
So that's Lee Demo?
Lee Demo, yep.
All right, and that's tomorrow night. Tonight's the top of the morning Irish people at the museum. That's good stuff.
Exactly.
How's everything going with all the good new changes happening?
Fantastic. The ladies next door in the development department, Eloise and Stephanie, are working hard on promoting the museum, getting our capital campaign going, and bringing in some money to continue the programming and exhibits that we're known for. So.
Right. I'm actually going to help out with the capital campaign myself.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I remember you were
We need to. We need to care. All right, we shouldn't be talking about any board meeting stuff, so we're not going to do any of that. I agree 100% with you on that. Let's adjourn with another excellent Mattatuck Minute. Bob Burns is doing a great job. Really, really happy to have him in town running the show. And again, very, very, very sorry that we lost Fielding Secor. He was a great man and a great director of the board for years and years and years.
Absolutely.
All right, Stephanie, have a great Wednesday. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Mike. Enjoy the show.
Thank you. All right, so I'm not going to beat it to death, but I've been lucky enough to know Fielding, and I came on as a new board member in September, and he led by example. He was extremely intelligent. I think he went to Yale, and he was a big sailor. I read his obituary in yesterday's Republican American. So, enough with that. WATR also lost somebody as well, Mrs. Irwin. And let me give her a little plug because she deserves it as well. In today's paper, it had stated that Patricia J. Irwin, interviewer for WATR, we lost her as well. So, we give her and her husband, Frederick, our condolences. We are very sorry. She was a great woman. I just talked to Paula in the lunch cafe, and she said that she actually was hired by her. So sorry for her loss as well. All right. Enough with the gloom. Let's talk about Colleen. Colleen, the reason you're here again is because I can't wait to see the phones light up. 203-757-1320. We have Colleen O'Neill. For you listeners out there, she was here 3 or 4 weeks ago, and you loved it. She had to run to go help a client down in Norwalk, and when she exited the studio, the phone lit up. People were looking for her number. So you take it away.
Okay, after I left here, Michael, I did receive a half a dozen phone calls or so. So I have been in touch with several listeners from the area who had questions about dating and about getting in touch with someone to talk to, because as with any of us, no matter what age we are, we all need that human connection and someone to talk with. And as I mentioned to you prior to the show, I was talking with a gentleman who said, he has wonderful, wonderful children. He lost his spouse a long while back.
I think it was 14 years ago.
About 14 years ago. And he just can't talk to his children the way he could when we were talking on the phone. He said, I can't open up to them the same way. And he's just looking for a connection, someone to either talk with, but he'd also like that relationship like all of us would, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 70, it doesn't matter. We'd all like that human connection. And so I've been able to communicate with individuals from the show. So when you and I had talked, it was an ideal opportunity to come back and talk about dating and about that human connection for people no matter what age we are.
It's a win-win. I am not at all intelligent on your aspect. I know Medicare like the back of my hand. That's my job. So knowing you, seeing you sit at my seminars researching your mother, I figured, you know what, this is going to be a good fit. So out there listening, 203-757-1320, where's the lovely lady, the 90-year-old who talked Larry Rifkin's ear off yesterday? She was pip. I loved her. So if you're out there and you are interested in learning how to communicate better with the opposite sex, whether you're a widow or divorced, even though I really don't like to hear that they're getting divorced so late in life, maybe that happens. The places you're going are great. You're going to the mall in the morning. They're doing the walking.
Absolutely.
You could go to the museum and catch a Frank Sinatra singer, Lee Demo. That would be an event. I think it's pretty affordable, too. It's no more than like an expensive coffee at Starbucks. And what a waste of poor advertising space that would be if they didn't want to come on our show. But anyway, I'll just give Starbucks a little plug. My friend Colleen drinks the Starbucks. All right, so basically, what's the slowest way to, in 1 hour, which we have today, to teach a senior basic steps how to contact you? 1, which is the most important thing, you have to make money. 2, the proper steps to go about, in your case, talking to somebody or possibly dating, or how they go about that?
Well, I think bottom line is people have to decide what it is they're looking for. And after talking with several people, some people were looking for ways to date, and some people were looking for ways to just have a connection with talking with somebody. So if you're looking for someone to talk to, whether it be myself or another therapist, because some people can be depressed, some people can just be looking to have somebody to talk to about certain issues, health issues, relationship issues, and may not be ready to take that step into dating or just a social connection with somebody. So you have to decide where you're at on the kind of the spectrum or scale of things in life.
They need to make a personal evaluation of themselves.
You have to decide where you're at and what you're ready for.
Okay.
Some people are still in a grieving stage. You may have just lost somebody, or you lost somebody a year ago. Maybe you're deciding, am I ready for that? Or how will my children feel if I do want to go out and date? And so
I'll let you know how they feel. On Friday, it will be 3 years that my mother passed away. Jerry, officially Geraldine Sullivan Regan, but Jerry passed away May 18, 2009, and when you were here last time, I had stated, my dad, definitely needs someone to date. Well, he's actually seeing somebody, and it's fine with me. It is. I'm a mama's boy. I'm the youngest of 4. The company's named after my mom. So, like you said to me in the kitchen, or the cafe, what do they call it? WATR cafe WATR. You said, hey, maybe you should talk to somebody. And that's why I'm on the air. Is it okay with me? Yes. Do I like it? No. But my dad needs a life. He's 76 years old, 76 or 77. But he's a handsome guy. He keeps himself in great shape. Gene and I think maybe he could eat a little more, but he thinks being 165 is fine. He's about 5'10", 5'11". So he likes to be in shape. He prides himself on his workouts and his healthy eating. And he said to me, I'm bored. I just want someone to hang out with, have some dinner. My friend who came into the kitchen said, I'd love to have somebody, not necessarily someone who just wants to touch me all the time, but someone who wants to go out and have companionship. So I hear the clients out there loud and clear. They spend more time taking care of other people than they actually do taking care of themselves. So this is something you can do. You can help them take care of themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times people are busy during the daytime hours, but those evening hours can get awful lonely.
Right.
And so what do you do during those evening hours? And because we are busy with doctor's appointments or going here or going there, or the weekends are busy because your children decide to take you for the weekend or you get to see your grandchildren. But that's 5 days during the week. That's a lot of hours to fill up for oneself. And sometimes children and grandchildren aren't enough because that's only fulfilling one portion of your life. You still...
That's the cognitive side, not the emotional side.
It's not the emotional side.
You need to attach with someone...
As a man and a woman, not as a grandparent and a mother and father. So you're still missing that partnership side of oneself that we all are, no matter what age. And so what you want to figure out is, where are you in life on finding out, am I ready for a relationship? Am I even in search of one? Have I laid to rest that my partner is no longer with me? Am I working on how will I talk with my children about this?
Right.
So where are you at? And that's where I think therapy can come in. And I'm not saying it has to be long term and you have to be in it for 6 months to a year. It may just take a couple of sessions just to talk it through with somebody. So that's one component. And then figuring out that dating is very different, especially if you're older, than it was when you were dating 50 years ago.
Well, I can pick on it because it's HIPAA. It's my family. He actually calls the intelligent woman his friend. He doesn't want to call it her, his girlfriend. He calls her his friend, which is fine with me because he clearly doesn't want to hurt my feelings. If he's talking to his buds, he may say, I have a girlfriend. But my dad was an old-fashioned Irish guy who has never missed church. He's a Eucharistic minister every Sunday. I mean, in blizzards, this guy's making Mass. So he married his first girlfriend, who he met at church in New Jersey. So in 51 years, he's never dated anybody. So you out there, if you're lucky enough to have a husband or a wife and you're extremely happy, great. This show might not be for you, but unfortunately, there are a lot of widows out there. There are some, unfortunately, divorced people. You need to talk to somebody. The phone rang off the hook at the agency. People were looking for Colleen. She is a therapist. The nicest thing about you is, you said, and I watched the YouTube tape a couple times, you're in business to put yourself out of business.
Absolutely.
That was really classy on your part, I have to tell you, because I have to make money, you have to make money, but the concept is I'm there to help the client purchase the product. Hopefully they're going to purchase it once. I wouldn't switch a client every year just to make a new commission. You wouldn't tell somebody wrong information just to get them to churn over and over and over. No. You said the phone, you've about 5 or 6 calls from the all right, who's out there listening? 203-757-1320. We're going to take our first commercial break. Perfect on the YouTube for the timing. We'll be back in a few minutes after we plug the sponsors.